Well, good evening, everybody. Today we're going to be doing kind of a long and a short-term review of the SRAM Red system, along with a new cassette that I just picked up to replace my 10 to 28. This is a 10 to 33 SRAM Red AXS ETAP, which is only for the 12-speed system, XG 1290 10 to 33. I paid $320 for this. The retail is right around $350. I also picked up the SRAM Red 12-speed chain for $70. That is the CNRED D1. Now, the reason why I needed to upgrade was because on the current system that I'm on, which is a 10 to 28, I wanted to get a couple more gears in the back for climbing. So let me kind of take you back to my history with Red and also with Shimano Ultegra and me breaking a lot of stuff. So originally, I got introduced to SRAM. It was actually in the Forest Preserves of Chicago, and they had, I think Cannondale was testing some bikes, and I tried the SRAM X9 system, which was way long ago. If you guys remember X9 from mountain biking, I really liked the shifting over Shimano, and then I ended up going to a Red system, and I still had the same shifters from 2012 from my Red setup on a Fuji Transonic, which came off of a Fuji Professional, and they still work to this day. Some of the greatest hoods I've ever used, and I was really liking the ergonomics. Now, when I used Ultegra stuff, especially in Chicago winters, a lot of the parts would eventually break down after about a year. I was basically breaking almost every single Ultegra train. I was bending cassettes, I was bending chain rings, and it just wasn't working. I also don't like the colors of that, just because of the sheer fact that it doesn't match bikes well, in my opinion. I like the red kind of matte black look, and that's what kind of SRAM is known for. So let me kind of get into this and just kind of go over a couple things. I might redo this. I'm not sure yet. So SRAM Red is a Chicago-based company. They own many different entities now. Probably the latest being the biggest acquisition is Zip Rims, and they actually just redesigned the Zip Rims, which I think look really nice too. So SRAM is known for their branding. I think they have some of the best branding across any brand in the world. They have black and red, and it just stands out. I think it's great. They have great packaging, and if you've watched any of my videos, I always comment pretty much in every video that I shoot about packaging. Now, the old SRAM Red packaging was quite different. This is much more sleeker. This is based off the new SRAM ETAP 12-speed AXS, not the 11-speed. That's the first generation. This is second generation. So as you can see right away from the packaging, it's a matte black type of a finish. The box is beautiful. It's very well built. And this is something that I would probably keep to store other items for cycling, or maybe even some cables, or who knows. Every time I get a nice box, I always keep it. So here's the SRAM Red cassette. Let's just look at the beauty in CNC, the engineering, the R&D behind what took SRAM many product cycles to go through and finally come through. So on the original SRAM that I had, the red was in the back, that was black, and I believe that was red, and I've gone to this style. So the reason why this costs so much compared to like the Force, and then they have the lower tier, is this is one solid piece of aluminum of a block. So they go through a CNC process, and if you've watched any of their videos on YouTube, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This, I think, takes hours to actually extrude through CNC and through a water jet. So that's the 28, and this is the 33. This is actually a separate piece over here. I'm not sure what it's made out of. So on my last system, I had what was called the Y-Fly system, and you had to get a longer a longer cage in the back in order to accommodate the larger gearing. So I actually ended up going to an XTR in the back because that was the biggest I can get at the time, and that was the gearing I was used to. So just by going to this system, I will gain anywhere from 3 to about 4 gears. So my front setup is just the traditional setup on a 172.5 crank. Now, if I go down in the cassette size there, I will lose a couple of the gears on the top end for sprinting. So I'm not sure if I found that happy medium yet, but I think I might have found it here. So like I said, I do a lot of climbing. I'm currently in the Arizona mountains. I also like to spin really high. Typically, I'm spinning when I'm on flatland right around 105 to 101, right around there. And in the mountains, I try to spin as fast as I can. Obviously, the faster the better to get that lactic out. But just going back to the CNC engineering of this, I think we should just kind of look at what this actually is. People don't understand why bike parks cost so much, especially on the high end. For a lot of the SRAM red stuff, it's made out of carbon fiber. Everything's got to be pretty much polished and not everything's got to be manufactured by hand too. But just how they lay everything out and just appreciating the research and development that SRAM has put from their ETAP 11 system to the 12-speed AXS system, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So just to give everybody an idea of what kind of bike I'm on right now, I'm on a Trek Madone SLR9 with SRAM ETAP, and also I have a SRAM Cork Power Meter on there with NV 4.5 rims. Got about 900 miles on the bike with Schwalbe Pro 1 tires. I'll be upgrading to the TCL tires soon, and I'm just looking forward to it. So let me kind of put this to the side and bring out the chain real quick. Well, let me go over a couple of the attributes of this too. So they actually had to get more gears in here. So the original was 10 speed, then they went 11 speed, now they went 12 speed. So they actually had to redesign this and redesign the chain so they could actually get more gearing in the same basic area and back. So this is from 5 to 1-2 jumps. They offer a wide variety of range. The 10-2 basically helps provide a wider gear range, and it's designed to work with HDR driver body. So this is the brand new driver body too. It's only proprietary to SRAM, but I believe they are licensing out the technology, and I believe that's due to the fact that it's 12 speed now. It might be also an 11 speed, but I think it's only for 12 speed. And then this is a one-piece system. It's machined steel, not an aluminum, called X-Dome, and that's also designed for weight savings. Just as you look at this, it's just a thing of engineering beauty. And just so everybody knows, I have not had one misshift yet on the rear cog for anything. I've had 2 misshifts in the front, and I think that's just because I need to get it adjusted when I go to the bike shop. But as far as gearing, it's been great. I've had this in mud. I've had this in kind of like a cyclocross type of environment here in the Arizona mountains. Again, I'm right around 5,000 feet, so I'm doing anything from typical road to going over huge rocks, not huge rocks, but big enough to where I can lower the tire pressure and go in a variety of areas. And then I've also had this in a rainstorm, and the shifting was flawless, nothing wrong with the chain. So let me kind of put this to the side real quick. Give me 1 second here. So here's the chain. So SRAM originally had a 10-speed chain, well actually 9, then they went to 10, then they went to 11, and then they went to 12. So each time they redesigned the system, they have to go from 10 to 11 to 12. They have to redesign the chain too for weight savings and a variety of things. So again, just to give everybody the model, this is the CN Red D1. I paid $70 for this. This is the lock system. So this is something that I love about the newer chains. Basically, if you want to clean your chain, it's pretty simple for the most part. You just take this off. Now, this can be kind of finicky over here when you put it together. So I would recommend having a lot of patience. You might get it right without the actual apparatus you can use, but I tend to use a screwdriver or just something, whatever I had lying around, just so I can clean my gears maybe like once or twice a month. Make sure the chain's nice and clean. Now, the only bad thing about this chain is the fact that it's this color. So it's kind of like that, just a traditional color, but they tend to get dirty pretty quickly. I've had black chains from KMC, which I love because you really can't tell the dirt. But other than that, it's a great chain. So like I said, they had to redesign this chain. If you see, this is the more traditional side of the chain over here. I'm sorry, right over here. And then this is what they had to redesign. So each individual link says SRAM on there, and I believe on the other side it says red, if I'm not sure. Yeah, it says red over here too. So let me kind of go over a couple of the attributes of this. So basically the unique shape allows the chain to be narrow and lighter while increasing strength and providing more space between the outer plates of the chain and the cog on either side. The basic result is a quieter chain with faster, more precision shifting. Now, I can honestly say this shifting has been absolutely amazing. If you have any trepidation about going to any type of system as far as ETAP, I would highly recommend it over Shimano for a couple different things. I'll get into a full review of the bike eventually, but with Di2 or with Ultegra, it is not a true wireless system. There is a wire that runs throughout the entire throughout the entire system, and it's more of a challenge for mechanics to work on it. Now with the AXS system, you just have an app, and let's just say my battery is low on my app. It'll actually tell me through my Garmin 820 that my battery is low, and everything communicates with each other. And it's just Bluetooth. It's very simple. It's not too complicated. The shifting is relatively simple. I think it took me all of 15 seconds to understand it. You can kind of adjust everything. Again, I'll be going into a more in-depth kind of perspective on that too. So like I said, I've had this in one big rainstorm, and I'm also on disc too, just so everybody knows. And it was great. I mean, the shifting was fine. Bike got ridiculously dirty, but as far as the shifting was fine. The chain did not rust at all. I've had issues with other chains rusting, even if I've cleaned them off and, kind of get all that water off there, but they do rust just a little bit. So the flat top technology enables a narrow chain with quieter operation, increased strength and stability. Like I said, they had to redesign the chain in order to get it onto the cog, with going from 10 speed, 11 speed to 12 speed. I'm not sure if they're going to go 13 or not. That would be a completely redesign of the system as far as the engineering in the back, and I don't know if they want to put that much into R&D. So, and like I said, the hard chrome plate, they have inner links, it reduces wear and prolong life, and then the hollow pin construction, that's just increased for strength and efficiency. Now, I believe they also do that just to save a little bit of weight. I've seen some chains actually kind of CNC out the center too. But I don't know what the weight this is. Honestly, I don't care. I think the weight of my bike is right around 16 pounds. I can care less. It was 16.5. Some people are weight weenies, but when you put on a couple of water bottles and all the other crap that you guys are taking with you, you've added 3 or 4 pounds. Or just lose 3 or 4 pounds, ride more, eat less. So any questions, you guys let me know. Again, this is the SRAM Red cassette. This is the biggest one that you can get within the gamut. I believe it goes all the way down to a 1028. Again, this is a 10 to 33. I'll be posting some photos online soon. And again, I will be going over a complete review of the bike. I've got around 800 miles on the bike. I want to get a little bit more on there. I also want to put the new tires on there, test those out, and do a complete maybe 20-30 minute review of the bike. Now for the other part of these presentation, I'm going to go over a couple of the audio and the video things that I'm using. So to give everybody an idea of what I'm shooting with a Canon EOS R with a 10 to 24 RF lens, shooting straight down. That's in 4K at 24 frames a second. I'm also using a Manfrotto 190 Go with X Pro heads, and that allows me to take the head and bring it straight down. Not a lot of tripods can do that. I'm also using an iPhone over here just so I can see my audio and I can touch the screen and start and go and whatnot, which is really, really nice. I'm also using 4 lights right now. So I'm using the ALMW, I'm using the ALMX, I'm also using a P1 Bolin light, and total of 4 lights. So I'm really liking this setup. My idea was kind of to have a small product shoot, not use a lot of lights, at least big lights. These are all pretty much mobile lights, and I'm going to be doing reviews on everything. I'm also shooting with a GoPro Hero 8 on SuperView just to see if I like that shot, and then a Canon 80D with a 10 to 18 for a wide shot just in case I need that. My secondary audio source is a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, and then my main audio source, which is on a toner articulating arm, just like a podcast radio type of a setup. I'm on a Zoom H6 with a stereo mic. That's the more advanced mic. And I'm also testing a Zoom F1 with a lav mic. And so far, I'm liking the sound on the stereo mic better. However, the Zoom F1 is smaller, and I can stick basically the stereo mic on top of that too. But I'll get into that later. So if you guys have any questions, you guys want me to do more videos like this, please let me know. I'm looking for any type of feedback, good, bad, and indifferent. Basically, I'm just looking for criticism at this point. You guys have a great day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the presentation. Go ride. Any day riding is a good day. Any day shooting is a good day. Be safe, and SRAM for life, guys. Bye.